So this is the room where I came up with some of the ideas. This is where I was studying and learning about business.
I dreamed about small computers my entire life. When I was in high school, there were a lot of mini computers that came out. I could never afford a part to build one, but I told my dad, I'm going to have a computer someday of my own.
I've learned who the Americans are, and I came up with the idea, like, say, if you work hard, you can do whatever your ability is. You can go right up to heaven.
In the 50s, there was no company in America that grew the way IBM did. It was extraordinary. They ground out numbers. It was phenomenal. And then at some point it ended.
Very early personal computer companies were largely on the West Coast, and I think that's because the semiconductor industry was there.
I think the reason that the smaller companies were able to do it was they were just simply more flexible, they were more adaptable, and they were younger and didn't have the baggage of the history and all of the other parts of the business that they had nothing else to do.
The guys that did my team in microprocessor were all under 30, okay? The guys that did the original computer, I think, were under 25.
A lot of the people in the club certainly wouldn't consider themselves business people. They weren't temperamentally suited to it. And many of them had a kind of negative view of business. But I don't think anybody was philosophically opposed to doing business at a low and intimate level.
Bill Gates has always been an excellent businessman, above and beyond his abilities at programming or computer strategy or whatever.
Jack was Jewish. He was an Auschwitz survivor, 6 years, and he saw business as a kind of religion. And he had his own business philosophy, which was very tough.
One time I picked Steve Jobs up at the airport. We were discussing maybe having a company, and he says, I got a great name for our company, Apple Computer. And I said, what about Apple Records? He says, well, they're a record company. We're a computer company. Oh, that's all it takes? And he said, yeah.
That was really a momentous time for the history of electronics, because for the first time, people could actually build computers for a very small amount of money.
We were from the calculator era. People a few years before us, they were from the slide rule era. And after me a few years, thanks to the spreadsheet, we entered the personal computer era.